Aloha everyone, Joshua Hayes at BigWaveTrading.com. Pretty decent session for the market on Thursday, and by decent I mean we did not have a distribution day. We had another poor intraday session with the market reversing off the highs, closing near the lows. But with that being said, I pretty much thought that if this market was going to really fall apart, it would have started immediately. The mere fact that the S&P 500 was up slightly today, as you can see here, up 0.10%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 0.66%. The Nasdaq only down 0.11%. The Russell 2000 only down around 0.15%. Overall, not too bad. I figured that if we were going to really roll over and if things were going to completely fall apart, it was going to happen today and we would have seen more stocks break down. But as it is, it still could happen, but it's really good that following the recent reversals, that even though we did reverse today, we didn't waterfall back towards the 200-day moving average on these averages. So with that in mind, it's not terrible, but if you're looking at this chart, I could see a chart where after this we move higher here and maybe we back and fill sideways here. Yeah, right, sideways action. Woo! I'm funny. I don't know if that's ever going to happen again. I would love to see it happen, but I don't know. But either way, maybe a pullback and ebb and flow here, consolidate, and then break out higher. Who knows? I have an open mind here. I could also see this V-shaped bounce rolling over further and us breaking down, maybe testing a double bottom and or also falling down. You need to be like water. You should never be hard static on any direction in the market. Never be bullish, never be bearish. Keep an open mind. And with that being the case, I have some long positions working. I have some hedges working. Some long positions are failing. None of my hedges are failing. But overall, by working, I mean things are either moving up, moving sideways, and or are not triggering initial stop levels. Still, there are some full sells lately from new long positions. KMPH, I was already completely out before today's session, but that's a full sell signal. QDEL, I knew earnings was coming up. That's why after I went long here, each day this stock moved up. I moved up stop. So on day one here, I had a stop here, stop here, stop here. Then after this day, I had it a fourth stop, then a fifth stop, then a sixth stop. Well, they were all taken out today, but that final one down here, that now gets moved up to today's low a day for me. QDEL, there's another full sell. And MRNS, a series of 3 lower highs, lower lows, and also closing below the low a day of this session. That's a full sell signal. But the entry point was like all the way back here, or right here. It was right here. And so you can still see we're still in with an 80% gain on that. So that one takes care of the others. And then ADAP, this also, it's a rollover completely. I never even got a position because it gapped up. Took away whenever the market started to sell off, new long position. So I never got a position in ADAP as it gapped and ran. But a series of 1, 2, 3 lower highs, 1, 2, 3 lower lows. I know that 765 is above this low a day, but intraday it moved below this low a day with the follow through rollover with the red bop. More distribution than accumulation. ADAP becomes a full sell signal on an end of day basis. But overall, that was it. It was just those 4. And as you can see, all of them to one degree or another are medical related. So if it wasn't for the medical related stocks, would have been a pretty good session for my portfolio. But the bottom line is that until new long positions start failing en masse or hedge positions start failing en masse, I'm going to continue to ebb and flow and take whatever signals trigger until one side wins, and then that side that wins, those gains should way more than offset the tiny losses I'll take if I'm going to lose. And so let's go into that, see how that will work out. LPSN was the only new long signal from my Can Slim and Perfect Speculator quality scan. LPSN is an earnings winner, hence the gap up. Now you'll see it reported a loss, but the stock gapped up. But Josh, they reported a loss. Isn't it an earnings loser? No. Price is all that matters. It gapped up. It's an earnings winner. Clearly, that's priced in. The market expects good things to it. And on top of that, LPSN is near all-time highs, so it's a beautiful overall setup. BOP is stronger than the session before. Volume was above average. Successful test of the previous day's lows. Heavier volume, not quite candle over candle, but excellent confirmation of the support. Volume and BOP is there. So LPSN, normally be a 2% long signal since it's perfect speculator quality, but it's extended from all of its moving averages. So we're just going to half it one time to 1%. Normally it would be 0.5%. But with our first cut loss right there, I want to stick with, a few $1,000s at the very minimum into this, because if it works, we should be able to, let's say that we can get a measured move similar to the previous move. We're looking at a 33% gain to a possible 2% loss. That's over a 10-to-1 reward risk ratio. Got to take it. Now, is it worth taking 10% of your capital into it? That's up to you. This isn't really the market where I do that. 5% even, I could push it to 2-3% on my end before I hit the dollar loss amount that makes me cry uncle. But I'm just going to be measured here. I'm okay with how I'm operating. Whenever the market turns, if it does turn higher, hopefully I'll have better charts and I will know when to push it. It's not right now. It's just not the right time. We're still in February. Got to get out of February. Hit March. Show me a pattern like this. Maybe I'm adding more capital to it. But for right now, LPSN, 1% of my account capital. Limit order. Today's close, 14.55. My first cut loss level right there at 14.15. Moves below 14.15, hits 14.10. You'll know for a fact I'll be out of half. And then if it gap fills at 13.25 level, you know I'll be out of all of it. Now, if LPSN immediately fails the 14.15 level, does it on heavier volume, and loses loses green BOP, it's a 100% sell signal. But if it doesn't do it, if it keeps the green BOP and or pulls back on lower volume, just know I'll be splitting up my remaining stop at the 13.25 level into whatever the new low is. So let's say that the new low becomes 13.95. Well, 13.90 will then, I'll have half there, and I'll have the final half at 13.25 on LPSN. But this was the only trigger, the only stock I flagged, the only legit long signal from the Cancelim and or Perfect Speculator scan. And then the other signal is SMDD. This showed up in my ETF scan. It was confirmed via many different kind of Russell signals. You could even take this one, for instance, SRTY. This is one that I already have, but here's a, you could take this one, but BOP's going in the wrong direction on that one, and SMDD actually has more alpha because it's ultra pro short, and it has max green BOP. It made my max green BOP for 5 days scan along my ETF scan. So that means I'm allocating 2% of my capital to this name. Limit order 1032. The close is the high of the day. Only cut loss level everybody should probably focus on is 987. It moves below 987. You should probably be out of all of it. I will only be out of half, even though it's the only stop that I'm listing. So half will be there. Then I'll probably have a quarter here, a quarter there, a quarter here, and the final quarter here. We'll see. It's up. I might just have half here, 986, and for now, the final half at 880. That'll probably be more than likely what I do as I let these hedges try to work themselves out. And because if this market does start to re-roll over again, I have a feeling it could get extremely ugly. And I'd rather hold on to these hedges and sell them off with a slightly larger loss or a slightly smaller gain, and hold the positions in case the market does chop around before rolling over, than just being too tight with my stop. So SMDD 1032, half stop at 986. Maybe you put it all at 986. I'm just letting you know what I'm doing. LPSN, this is the only other one, 1455, 1410. 1325. I also have 2 new speculative long positions that I'll post for Platinum members in the morning on Friday. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. There's not really anything else to discuss. I haven't been able to update the sell positions because I'm running out of time every night. Been really busy, and once again, I'm busy again tonight. I have a barbecue grill little meetup with a bunch of friends that we have to do. It's a couple thing. There's no getting around it. If I can get home in enough time, I'll attempt to update the sells. If I have enough time in the morning and there's really not a whole lot going on in the pre-market session like lately, I'll try to update them then. If worse comes to worse, I'll try to at the very least update all the recent full sell signals and partial sell signals during Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday session and Friday session this weekend. All right, everyone. I'll see you in the chat room on Friday. Aloha.